Understanding the balance of attachment style dynamics in a relationship is crucial, first of all, to form a healthy relationship. And the second thing is also to understand why your past relationships might have failed. I'm Coach Goldman, your relationship and breakup coach. And in today's session, I'm going to reveal to you a concept that has never been talked about before. And this concept, like I said, is balanced attachment style dynamics. Now, you're probably wondering what it is, and I'm going to explain to you. First things first, if you haven't watched my video, very comprehensive video about attachment styles, to understand the attachment styles the correct way, because there are actually four main attachment styles that you must realize. Which one is anxious? The second is ambivalent. It's not secure. The ambivalent is secure. I'm going to cover that, don't worry. And the third is avoidant. And the fourth is also avoidant, but the avoidant is split into two: fearful avoidant and dismissive avoidant. So I covered that extensively in another video. So I'm going to link the video below or put it here so you can watch it to gain much more comprehensive information about that attachment styles. But I want to make a quick recap on attachment styles just to set the tone for today's video, because you're going to learn a lot. And I'm going to just show you a little bit of the presentation that I have here for you. It goes like this. It's so comprehensive. This is actually everything that you really need to know. And you can probably see the feminine and the masculine, where the feminine is more between 2 to 6, the masculine between 4 to 7. We're going to cover that. Don't worry. You're going to understand it so beautifully. And let me tell you, you will have knowledge that I would say 99% of people just don't have. So, first of all, your current attachment style is not permanent. It's not permanent. It can change, because most people believe that their attachment style is fixed for life. And this set the tone by their childhood experiences or past relationships. Which this is not the truth. If someone identifies as anxious, avoidant, or disorganized, they may assume this pattern defines all of their relationships forever. So, if you are anxious, don't worry. If you're avoidant, don't worry. We are going to help you get more centered. And the center is the AKA secure, which the professional term is ambivalent. Now, attachment styles are adaptable and can change over time due to personal growth, coaching, or new relational experiences. They are changing. We have also the thing that we call it the RAS, the reactionary attachment style, which I will cover in just a minute, but bear with me. I know it can be a lot to take at the beginning, all of this attachment style, but let me tell you, once you realize what I'm about to share with you today, your relationship dynamics will never be the same, ever. I can promise you that 100%. Now, whether you are anxious or avoidant, it's important for you to know that we all have elements of both anxiousness and avoidance within us to various degrees. They can shift and change, shift and change. In this session, you're going to learn what they are and how you can change them. Let's talk about your attachment system. What is your attachment system? It comprises of two elements. Number one, you have your primary attachment style, which is formed during your childhood. When you were a kid, you couldn't choose your attachment style. You couldn't choose anything. You couldn't even choose the language that you're speaking. Everything that was handed to you, you received. Everything you observed and saw around you, you saw that as the truth. And when you grew up in a dysfunctional relationship dynamic with your family, or you saw a dysfunctional relationship between your mom and dad, or maybe you grew up without a dad or without a mom, that sets in your mind and it created your primary attachment style. We have the second one, which is developatory attachment style. This is an attachment style that was developed through different relational experiences, whether romantic or platonic, or just life realizations. You had a realization and it changed you. How many times have you in your life you realized, oh my God, this is who I am? And you changed because you said, this is not who I want to be. This is probably why you're watching this video, because you want to be better and you're at the right place at the right time. Now, How does the attachment style system determine which type of attachment to form? This is where the RAS comes into play. This is your reactionary attachment system. The reactionary attachment system is adapting to the situation, and it will match the complementary attachment style in attempt to establish a bond. If you are dating someone who is more anxious, you automatically will be more avoidant. Or if you're dating with someone who is more avoidant, you automatically will be more anxious. Or should I say, if you are very anxious primarily, you will see that you date just avoidant people. And you will ask yourself, why is all of the men are avoidant or all the women are avoidant? And I coach hundreds and thousands of you by now, and I just drew a line between everything that I saw, and it's so obvious. A lot of anxious people, when I work mostly with anxious people, and they tell me, everybody's avoidance, everybody's avoidance. I was like, no, you are very anxious. You are very anxious because on the scale of 1 to 10, there is this scale here that I created for you between 1 to 10. You can see 0 will be very anxious, 10 will be very avoidant. If you are on the scale, let's say a 2, and you're dating someone that your primary attachment style is a 2, and their primary attachment style is, let's say, even an 8, if you are very, very anxious like towards them, you will drive them more and more and more up the scale because it needs to be. This is how it works. This is our automatic polarity is being this is how it works. It's just automatic polarity. So when you are this, they are that. And this is what a lot of people call the anxious avoidant trap, which this is not a trap. This is just what it is. Now, the reactionary attachment system, like I said, it's adaptable. The attachment will adapt or shift in response to the level of intensity and dynamics of the attachment style of the person you are involved with, that you want to have a romantic relationship with. In case that the attachment system cannot perform proper adaptation, this means that the attachment cannot be formed. You might feel lack of chemistry or in an inability to establish the bond. This is where you just don't feel the vibe with a person. It's because your attachment system try to form a bond, or their attachment system try to form a bond, and it's just not working. Now, understanding attachment style in relationships, this is so crucial, crucial to understand. Masculine and feminine energies are complementary forces that can manifest in any individual, regardless of gender. This is energy we're speaking about, no gender, energies only. These energies are often discussed in the context of relationship to describe dynamics that create balance, attraction, and harmony. How you're balancing the masculine and feminine energy in a relationship. How you do that? Healthy relationships thrive when both partners balance their masculine and feminine energies. While one partner may naturally lean towards one energy more than another, it's important to understand that everyone has both energies within them and can tap into them into either depending on the situation. Now, this is so important, you guys, to understand what I'm about to say here. Masculine is more leading, feminine is more inspiring. Masculine is providing, feminine is receiving. Let's unpack it a little bit more. Masculine, leading, feminine, inspiring. Masculine energy provides structure, while feminine energy motivates and fuels with emotions and depth. Masculine providing, feminine receiving. The masculine thrives on giving and protecting, while the feminine embraces and appreciates. Number 3 here is collaborate over dominance. Both energies work together, complement each other rather than compete. And I always say it, you guys, you need a partner that complement you, not completely. You don't need someone to complete you. You need someone to complement your who you are, your essence, your energy, whether it's feminine or masculine. Now, to the meat and potatoes of this video. From my own experience, research, and coaching hundreds of people, I came to the realization of which attachment style a female should have in a relationship and which attachment style a male should have in a relationship and how it goes. I'm going to explain to you precisely, and I'm going to back up everything that I'm saying with a lot of logic. A lot of logic, and you're going to understand that. So, a man by nature needs to be more avoidant, and a female needs to be more anxious. The female needs to be more anxious between 2 to 6. This is the spectrum. And the man needs to be between 4 to 7. As you can see here, I'm just going to do this so you can see it better. The female needs to be here between 2 to 6, and the male needs to be between 4 to 7. Now, you're probably asking yourself why the female needs to be more anxious. I don't want to be anxious, or the man needs to be avoidant. This is not right. Now you're going to understand. Let's just talk about the feminine. Let's do this. Feminine energy traits and the masculine energy traits, and you will see why the feminine needs to be a little bit more anxious, a little bit more submissive, because anxiousness, the character traits of an anxious person is more submissive, it's more looking for leadership, and avoidance, it's more independent, more logic, less emotional. Like I just said, anxious is more emotional, avoidant is less emotional, more logical, and a man, as the leader, he needs to be more logical and less emotional. Like I said, between 4 to 7, not crossing that, not being extremely avoidant. This is where it's not good. And I also wrote it here. When it's more than 7, this is where the person is toxic towards the partner zone. This is here. This is very dangerous. And when a person is very anxious, this is when the person is toxic towards themselves. Between 0 to 2, when you're very anxious, this is not good. This is why this is the balance that I was talking about earlier in the video. Feminine 2 to 6, masculine 4 to 7. Why? Feminine energy is nurturing and intuitive and emotionally expressive. It represents the being and receiving aspect of the relationship. Emotional connection, empathy, and ability to bond deeply with others. This is more the feminine, nurturing, providing care, support, and love to others. Creativity, a flow of inspiration, ideas, and artistic expression. Intuition, strong sense of inner knowing and emotional insights, very feminine. Receptiveness, openness to receive love, support, and care from others. Playfulness, joyful, lighthearted, and spontaneous energy. Compassion, kindness, and understanding towards oneself and others. Adaptability, the ability to flow and adjust with circumstances. Sensuality, enjoying physical and emotional pleasure fully and deeply. Collaborative energy, focusing on partnerships, inclusion, and mutual growth. This is more the feminine energy traits, and you see why the feminine needs to be more emotional. This is just how it is. More emotional, it's a little bit more anxious. Because a female, and this is for all the men out there, if you're dating an avoidant, mission failed. You cannot continue the relationship. If the female is not exhibiting the feminine traits that you're looking for, it means that you're not exhibiting the masculine traits. This is why the relationship has failed. I've dated multiple avoidants. Actually, I think most of them, like all of them, almost all of them, were avoidance because I was anxious. I was in my feminine. When I now in my masculine, it's completely different. I am the leader of everything. I'm not being led. I'm emotional when I need to. I'm not always emotional. I'm rational. I'm logical. I'm strong. I'm grounded in my masculine frame. It's completely different. This is why I'm telling you guys, you got to realize that. You got to know that. If you don't know that, all of your relationships, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And for the females out there, if you dated an avoidant man, make sure that he have a soft side. Because if he doesn't show any softness, this is not okay. This is why I'm saying 4 to 7. That's the balance for the men out there. Masculine energy traits. Masculine energy traits. Masculine is, just a second, action oriented, structured, and goal driven. It represents the doing and providing aspect of the relationship. Leadership, taking charge, making decisions, and providing direction. This is why it needs to be more stoic, less emotional. This is just what it is. Don't be mad at that. Strength, both physical and emotional resilience, the ability to withstand challenges. Again, if a man is being very emotional and anxious, he doesn't have strength. He's not a leader, not at all. Logical thinking, you cannot be logical if you're emotional and you're not logical. A focus, a focus on problem solving, focus on problem solving, reasoning, and practical approaches. Very practical. Confidence, assertiveness, self assurance, and in actions and decisions, protectiveness. You see why a man needs to be a little bit more avoidant, a little less emotional. Yes, you do need to have your emotional side. It's good, but not all the time. Because if you have more, you're more emotional, you're more anxious, you're less masculine. A natural tendency to safeguard and ensure security for loved ones, purpose driven, having a clear goals and sense of mission, stability, bringing consistency, reliability, and groundedness. And when, let's say you have an argument with your woman, or for the female, you have an argument with your man, if the man becomes emotional, he blew it completely. A man never gets emotional. When the woman is emotional, let her be. Let her be emotional. You cannot be emotional as her. This is where she will lose attraction to you. And this is where actually you lose all of your masculinity. All of your masculinity. When my woman was emotional, I'm good. Grounded as fuck. Nothing moves me at all. Be emotional as much as you want. I am here. I'm going to solve this problem. I'm going to lead us to safety again. Action oriented, initiating and executing plans to achieve outcomes, decisiveness, ability to make quick and firm choices. This is why you cannot be emotional. Focused energy, prioritizing tasks or people and pursuing them with determination. So I really hope you understand better now why a man needs to be more stoic, less emotional, more logical. It's not bad. It's actually a good thing and it's healthy. Like I said, between 4 to 7, not more than that. More than that is a problem. The feminine, HBZ, this is the healthy balance zone, 2 to 6. You need to be a little bit more anxious, a little bit more submissive. This is just how it is. This is energy speaking. When you have this balance, you will have a good connection, balanced connection, and and also you will be attracted to each other more because you feel the polarity. With that said, you guys, I know this video was packed. This session was packed with a lot of stuff. If you need more clarifications, if you need help to understand it on a deeper level, or if you want one-on-one coaching with me for you to realize more about the dynamic, which is your dynamic, your ex or your partner's dynamic, for you just to understand, to grasp that and actually work towards being more ambivalent, which this is the best one. This is the secure one. Watch the other video that I've made and you will realize that. So yeah, I wanted to keep it as light as possible, but it just turns out to be a very, yeah, it's a good topic. It's a good topic, and it's very important to understand because if you don't understand it, you don't understand relationships, and eventually we'll go back. You will come back to this video, and you'll say, "Shit, Coach Pass was right. I didn't see this. I didn't see that. I was too masculine, or I was too feminine. I wasn't too enough. I wanted whatever." You will figure this out. With that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will make more videos on that with maybe a simpler explanation so it will be more digestible. But if you got it, you got it. If you don't, let me know. And I got you. Sending you love, and I'll see you again in the next videos. Ciao.